Denny Van here with Heartfelt Awakening Radio. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I have a wonderful topic for today, and this topic stems from a client experience. So this client experience when they were imprinted with anger. And so today's episode is the 4 types of anger. And so just to share a little bit more of the story. So this client had been through a life of anger, angry at everyone, everything, getting into trouble, not manifesting what they wanted. So having this breakthrough of remembering the moment anger was imprinted on them at 8 months old. So at 8 months old and now in their 40s, having this memory happen really opened up so many reasons why. And we came up with 4 different ways they express their anger. And maybe you can relate, or you can even see this kind of stuff happening all around you. Because just take a look around with what's happening in our worlds. Our worlds are colliding, and here we are on one earth in so many worlds. And when so many worlds are angry, there's a lot of suffering and a lot of harm that is being done, not only to yourself, but to all of those around you. So if you can begin to recognize these 4 areas, angry at self. How many can equate to being angry at yourself, even calling yourself names that you wouldn't dare repeat out loud, or you wouldn't dare tell anybody else these things? So if you direct your anger at yourself, can you relate to this? And angry at others, and easily becoming angry and impatient and frustrated with others. And it doesn't matter what they do, you just find something about them that you can, be angry about and project onto them. And angry at God, and there are many who follow that have a religious or spiritual upbringing. And so many organizations might teach that God is something outside yourself. So if you come from that belief and you're angry at God, that means God is the idea of something outside of yourself. Or angry at the world, blaming the world, rather than taking responsibility for your own choices. And the world shows us that that's not the best choice. It might make you look weak. And so we have to take a look, and maybe in all of these things that are happening, it may seem impossible to even get beyond anger, because anger is just so prevalent in our world. And so one of the things we teach is that there is a way in order to integrate the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of that anger while releasing the reaction. So what happens when you come into anger? And remember, anger is a state of being. We are all about states. Our states are constantly moving, changing, flowing. We cannot stay in one state in this human being. So states are constantly changing. And when we find ourselves in a state of anger, our consciousness has been hijacked. I'm going to say that again. When we find ourselves in a state of anger, our consciousness has been hijacked. So it's really important to become aware. And as we always say, awareness is your most precious gift. So as you become aware that maybe you remember when you've become imprinted with anger, and therefore your life from there on out has been angry reactions, angry outbursts, maybe even punching walls or slamming doors, or maybe punching people or hurting other beings. So these are ways that this unresolved anger that comes up from our outward experience, whether it's something somebody did, or maybe yourself did, or God did, or the world did. So it doesn't matter. This anger is coming from inside. And so what we do is we create a space to teach your nervous system, how to integrate what is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and what is just a reaction or an idea or a belief that no longer serves. And there is a way to train your nervous system so that as you experience your three-dimensional world, you see something on Facebook or TV or in person, and you're having this angry reaction come up within you. Stop, take note, take a second. It only takes a second to become aware that you are now being hijacked and you are now in reactive mode. It only takes a second to gain that moment of clarity. And if you can, stay in this moment of clarity, because whatever is playing out in this 3D realm has to play out. And so the moment you become aware and you're no longer playing in the game, now you're letting it pass by you without participating, then you take your power back. This is so important. When you recognize that you're now angry at everything else, you're angry at self, at others. And it's easy to get angry at others when you're angry at yourself, right? So when we find ourselves in these moments of anger, take a moment of watching the response come up. Because the moment that response starts to come up, before you say or do anything, whatever choices you have in front of you to express this anger, before you do that, you can feel it coming up. It's coming. Something is coming and showing itself to you, asking to be integrated rather than regurgitated. So what we want to do is we want to integrate rather than regurgitate, because with regurgitating now we're just going to keep repeating that cycle. This breaks the cycle. This breaks the cycle. And it takes a moment of awareness to realize your senses going out, mad at others, angry at self, angry at God, angry at the world, angry whatever is happening. You're just feeling anger and you want to express it. That, before wanting to express it, is a moment of salvation. So the moment you're able to not express, but rather keep that energy that's required to express, because getting angry takes a lot of energy. I know. I'm not a red hot, I'm going to do that again. I'm a redhead. Apparently they're hot, and they get angry a lot. So being able to feel when it starts to come up and take that breath and maybe even watch the body tighten without reacting, and learn the tools in order to release it through the nervous system while integrating the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that it has, and releasing. And then you find yourself, things that used to trigger you and anger you, they no longer do. And those things will happen more and more. The more you become aware, you are now being hijacked and about to regurgitate. Rather, you want to integrate. This is key. And if you want to learn more, definitely reach out. Leave a comment, please. I want to know, which one do you relate to? Do you find yourself in traffic getting mad at the guy in front of you for not moving and not seeing the lines of traffic? There's no place for the guy to go in front of you. But yet you're projecting anger on the guy in front of you. I've seen it happen so many times. I'm in the Chicagoland metropolitan area, and traffic is, well, you risk being shot at on the highways around here. It's a daily occurrence. So with the angry environments that we are in, it's no wonder we're all projectile vomiting on each other. So the way to stop it right in the bud and to capture that energy, because your precious energy is your focus, awareness, and attention. And if you're putting that with anger on something, what goes out comes back fulfilled. The word that goes out when you have emotion behind that intention, that's going to come back and kick you in the ass. Guaranteed. So the moment you become aware, hold that energy, keep it for yourself, because there's the blessing. There's the blessing. And then watch whatever's playing out in the 3D realm just kind of go away. Have you noticed in the news all of this stuff happening? You know, immediate crisis, another crisis, another crisis. We are in crisis because we're so angry. So if we notice these things pass us by, we're going to notice the less of it happening if we stop feeding it and being angry with it and reacting to it. This is where you find your power. And no, it's not spiritual bypassing. We actually did a podcast on spiritual bypassing, and we will try and post that in the comments. Or if you find it, definitely post it in the comments. So with that said, that's just 4 areas of anger. I'm sure you can list off more based on your experience. And I want to hear from you. What tools did you learn to overcome that imprint of anger? What tools do you find works to cleanse the nervous system of the reaction of wanting to projectile vomit on someone rather than integrate and deepening the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of whatever that anger was? And the beauty of this work is you don't have to tell the story about it. You don't even have to know the story about it in order to start integrating, because the nervous system does it for you. All right, so with that said, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you liked and what you would like more of. And in the meantime, keep being amazing.